Hey YouTube, Song Addict here, and today I will be showing you how to take apart and put back together a Kimura Song. I'm showing you this so that if you want to take it apart and clean it, and if you're having any trouble with taking it apart or putting it back together. So this will just help you out with that. So what you'll need is your Kimura. You'll need a screwdriver that it's a Torx screwdriver. So mine, I just put the little bits in. You can find a Torx screwdriver at your local hardware store probably. You'll need a T6 drill or T6 size screwdriver and a T8. The T6 is for the small screws, and then the T8 is for the pivots. You'll also need a little jar cup to hold all your little screws that you're taking out and stuff, so you don't lose them. Alright, so let's start this. I'll put in the T6 and start taking out the smaller pieces. So I just take out the smaller pieces first, and you kind of gotta unscrew them a little bit, and then I have to bang on it to get it out the rest of the way. You can't just get them all the way out just by unscrewing them most of the time. I'm not really sure why the Kimura screws are like that. So you get to right there and just gotta Alright, so anyways, if this is boring for you, you can just fast forward to a specific time that I will put in the annotations when I have all of these small screws taken out. If you don't want to fast forward, then I guess you can keep watching. But anyways, see, I got the handle out. Then I can just kind of push on the back of the screw right there. There you go, it's out. Alright, just keep doing this. Your little cup's also going to hold the spacers, so that's another thing that you can put in your cup. Alright, so there's the back of it, and just push on it. If you want to tape your blade for this, so you don't cut yourself, I don't know, you can just be careful, I guess. You don't have to tape your blade. Like, I'm not taping mine. Okay, see, the spacer's turning with it right now, so it's kind of annoying. So I gotta hold the spacer, and then I'll turn it. Then I got the spacer off, and I can just push that out. Alright, cool. I got 4 out so far. Just got 4 more to go. Gotta get this one out right here. I'm holding the spacer in the back so that it doesn't come out. Oh, my spacer just fell across the table. There it is. Then just push it out the backs. There we go. What is that? Like 5? Okay. Now I got this handle. This is the latch screwdriver, or screw. The latch screw's a little bit longer than the rest of them. There, my latch just fell into. So you can see that. Then there's always some screws that are kind of hard to get out. Nope, no, that wasn't that bad, just kidding. Ooh, this one's going to be hard to get out. I don't know if this This one right here, I don't know if it's going to want to come out. So, you might not see that one come out. I might just leave it in. But I can get this one. Got to hold the space around the back. This one may not. This one may not want to come out either. There we go. Cool. Now I'll just try a little bit more, see if I can get this last one out. Alright, well I'm not going to try too hard on this because that's getting kind of not fun to do. I'll just try to... Yeah, it's not working. Alright. Well, there are all the small screws. All I have left is the pivots. And maybe I should have taken out the pivots first. Well, anyways, this works fine. Anyways, if you lose any of these small screws, you can go to the Kershaw.com and look at their customer service, and just have them send you a pack of these. These are replacement screws for all that stuff that I just took out. It doesn't come with the pivot screws or the latch screws. I guess you'd have to specify something different for that. Alright, so now moving on to the pivots. Gotta change my screwdriver to the T8. Put that in. Alright, so for the pivots, if you don't know this is kind of not that easy to figure out. You need to put it in the open position and then squeeze it when you're turning it. That's because these back things right here, they'll just spin while I'm turning it. They won't stay in place. Alright, so so I gotta squeeze this with my hand, and then I'll just turn them out. Hopefully the knife doesn't fall apart when I take these out. Alright, there's one. I have a feeling that the blade's gonna fall off when I take this one out, so I'm gonna put it lower to the ground. This one is not coming out. Or is it? Yes, it is. Okay. There we go. Now you gotta be careful. There's spacers under there. So, probably want to hold your knife over the thing. So there's you can see that phosphorus bronze spacer right there. And I think there's one on the other side too. Yeah, there's the one on the other side. So I'm just gonna push this pivot into there, and then I'll take off the spacers. There they are. Put them in there too. Alright, same with this side. There's no thing on that. Take off the back. There's a spacer. I'm just gonna push the pivot in. Take off the spacer. Take off this spacer. There you go. Got everything unassembled. Here are all the parts. And now I'm going to go clean this, and I'll be right back to put it together. There you go. Alright, the parts are all cleaned, and I will be putting the knife back together now. You can start with the pivots or the smaller screws. I'm just going to start with the smaller screws. So I'll take out my T6 driver, and I'll be using that for the beginning of this. Alright, so since, if you can remember, I couldn't get this screw out. I don't know why, it's just some reason. I'm going to put that one in first. So I'm going to take the spacer and put it on the back there. Here, let me screw it in a little bit. I'll take the spacer and I will screw it on the back. Okay. so there is the spacer part. Alright, cool. Got the first thing done. Alright, so now if you notice that this bottom hole is smaller than this bottom hole, that's because the latch screw can go through that bottom hole, or it can go through that one. Or, I mean, it can go through that bottom hole and it can't go through this one. Alright. It can also go through this hole if you want your latch to be on the other side. But not this one because it's too small. Alright, so what should we do next? I'll just keep putting spacers on this handle. So I'll just put in this screw. Also, you don't want to damage your screws, so be careful with making sure that they're at the right angles or not when they're going in to the whatever it's called, when they're going into the handle. Alright, where's the spacer? Okay, cool, I got 2 spacers on. Alright, next thing is to take the opposite handle and put that on. So see, small hole, big hole at the bottom. So we're going to put those on the back. Yeah. This is not fun. Nope, I put it in the wrong hole. Yeah, that's what she said. You guys are funny. I'm gonna hear comments like that. Alright. So now to line it up with the spacer, then put it in. Alright, I'm not going to put this too tight because I still want to be able to move it so that I can put the pivots, or put the blade and pivots in later. Alright? So that's why this is kind of loose like this. Yeah, more that's what she said, comments. Alright, same thing with this screw. I'm not going to put it too tight, so it can still move like that. Alright, next thing, let's do the other handle. Take this, take a screw, if you don't want to watch this because you just watched me do it to this handle, you can skip to the next thing if you would like. Just screw in the spacer again. Hold the spacer there. Then, there we go. Other spacer. Gotta line it up. There we go. Cool. Let's take the other handle, put it on top. I'm going to put these screws in. Alright, I made it too tight, gotta unscrew it a little bit. There we go. Maybe screw it in a little bit more. That looks okay. So for this screw, I'm not going to screw it in so that I can keep my handle being able to move. Maybe I'll just take that screw out. Yeah. Oops. I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it out. Should I do the same thing with this one? Nah. Nah, I guess I will. I'll just leave it out. Or not. Okay, it doesn't want to come out. I'm not going to leave it out. Okay, now for the pivots and the blade. So basically what you're going to do is that hole right there. I like to put the pivot in on that side, the smaller hole side. Alright, so you're going to put the pivot in right here. Okay, on top of the pivot, you're going to put a phosphorus bronze washer. Alright, so you want the pivot to be between the handle, or you want the washer to be between the handle and the blade. The blade's going to go in there right soon. Alright, so there's that. Now I'll just leave that on its side so it can chill and not fall out. Do the same thing for the other side. Pivot. Get a washer in here. Put the pivot on the washer. Alright, cool. Now it's time to put the blade in. This part's always a little bit tricky, so because stuff's gonna fall out. So I gotta hold it with my finger right there, and I will put on. Yikes! I will put on the blade. Alright, so I put it through the blade hole. Now I'm going to put on another washer right there, and then put on the handle. There we go. Just to keep it in place, I'll take the pivot screw and screw it in a little bit just to keep it in place there. Alright, good. Pivot screw's kind of in. I don't know why I'm not using my... You know what? I'm just gonna let go of that. Switch this. Put in my T8 driver. Just take out that pivot screw. If that was a blade, it would have just sliced my hand, so be careful. Now I have to make sure that this is in. Okay, yeah, it's in. This is good. Now I'll just start screwing in this pivot. Obviously I can't screw it in all the way because the spacer will start turning. So that's about as much as I can get it screwed in, until I can squeeze the handles together. Crap. Alright, as you saw, the washer just flew off. So you gotta be careful about that. Alright, I'll put the washer back on right here. There we go. Now I gotta put it through the blade again. Now let's take our last washer, put it on top like we did just now before. All this time I'm holding the pivot. If you can see with my finger, I'm holding the back of the pivot so it doesn't fall out. Alright, cool. I got this on, I think, maybe. Gotta line up these two. There we go. Alright, I think it's pushed in. put the pivot in there. Cool. Alright, so now I just gotta put in that small screw right there that I didn't ever put in. Alright, just left it out just for ease. Alright, it's all put together. Just gotta tighten up all the screws now. I'm sure you guys can figure out how to tighten up all the screws. I'll just tighten them up. I'll tighten up these small ones first. And I'll just keep tightening up all my stuff. I'm sure you guys can figure out how to do it. That is how to take apart and put back together. Oh wait, I haven't finished yet. Have I? Well, anyways, what you wanna do basically to get all this play out, because there's lots of play in the handles right now, and that is because of the pivots. I haven't tightened yet, but if you can remember, I just squeeze together the handles and I start turning the screws. I'm sure you'll be able to figure that out, so make them as tight as you want, as much play as you want, and that is how to take apart and put back together the Kimura. There you go, guys.